Hello my fellow riders, this is Chris at Riding Reviews, and today we are going to be riding the Zontes Firefly 125cc Euro 4 motorbike. Now, as you can see, we are riding the Zontes Firefly 125cc Euro 4 motorbike, and this is quite similar to the Lexmoto Iska. So I would imagine the frame is going to be the same, the engine's definitely the same, exhaust looks very similar, and I would say even the clock's the same. So other than the panels, I would say it's quite very similar. And at the minute we can offer this at the same price as the Iska, and due to lack of stock from Lexmoto, it's all good. It's fairly responsive for a new bike. When you run it in, you should be looking at the 65 mph mark, really. You want to be cruising around at somewhere in the 55 to 60 mark. Mirrors are fairly wide apart, so that's always good on a motorbike, especially when you're commuting. And 50 miles an hour is a 7,000 RPM in fifth gear. The brakes have got the combined braking system, but that is Euro 4 spec. I'm not 100% sure if they are bringing that out in Euro 5 yet. If so, potentially they may be rebadged as a Motorini and not a Zontes. Just because of, I don't know, internal politics in Zontes, I would imagine. So yeah, 7,500 revs of 50 miles an hour. I don't really want to be going too much over that because it's a brand new bike, but as I say, when it's running it will go faster, and you're looking around 65 miles an hour. Cruising, you should be looking at about 55. So yeah, it is a good bike for inner city riding or extra urban. So it is a Euro 4 bike, it is fuel injected, and I believe on this one it's a Delphi fuel injection system, so that will be the same as your YBR. The engine on this one is based on a Suzuki, I believe. It might be a Suzuki, it might be a Yamaha, I'm not 100% sure, but they're all based off of one of the big brands. That's one of the reasons why they're saying that Japanese bikes are a little bit more expensive than Chinese bikes, is because Chinese doesn't really have a massive research and development setup with their bikes, whereas the Japanese, they do all the research and development, and then the Chinese pretty much nick it. So that was one thing that they don't have to pay for when it comes to Chinese bikes. And if you think about it, I bet Honda spend a lot of money on research and development. So the riding position on this bike is fairly nice. You can tuck your legs underneath the tank fairly nicely, and it is upright seating position, so you can see over the top of most cars, and it's just fairly comfortable. The seat's soft and supple, which it very much depends on you as a rider, whether you like a soft seat or a hard seat, depending on some people like the hard seats because they say it's better for you whilst you're riding long distances. Some people like the softer seats. Yeah, it's more down to you than anything. They got those green bikes everywhere now. The not bikes, the scooters. I don't know if anybody's used one who watches my videos, but they're right, I guess. I think the first half an hour's free, so I might see if I can go and find one, do a riding review on one of them, see how it is. So on the clocks you got the analogue rev counter, the speedometer, how much fuel you got, how many miles you've been, what gear you're in, and the time, which might even be right on this bike. Somebody set it. It's really easy to see. The lights are good on this bike. Again, with all of these sort of things, you might want to consider getting an LED one. Some people are saying the LED lights are now illegal, but I'm not sure. I'm not a MOT tester. But in regards to a motorbike, as long as the LEDs are adjusted correctly, then I don't see the problem. So now some of these HID lights on the new Audis and stuff like that, they blind you regardless of whether they're adjusted correctly. But they passed the European standards, so I guess they're legal. Anyway, so this bike is about $13.99 plus £100 on the road, I believe. I might be wrong. I'll put want to go through the editing, I'll put something at the top with the correct price. But yeah, I believe they're about £1,499 on the road. Tax for your first year is free, then after it is £20 a year. Insurance on this should be somewhere in the region of £350 to £700. That very much depends on a lot of different factors, and that would be for a 17-year-old. If you're older, it's usually cheaper. It's quite hard going from a big bike to a little bike, because what you're listening out for with the gears, you always think there's an extra gear because you're going really slow, but you're at high revs. So that's why sometimes I always look for a 6th gear. It's not because there's anything wrong with a bike, it's because I'm used to going at 70 miles an hour at about 2000 RPM. That's just one of the things you've got to deal with when you ride quite a lot of different types of bikes. The worst one for swapping over from doing one bike to another would be going on, say, one of these bikes and then going on the old the original Namfang, because they used to have a full rotation gearbox. So you go on a 5-gear motorbike, you ride it like you would either or, the same one. But when you get up into the top gear, if you do up again, it actually puts it into neutral, and then you're thinking, what the hell's going on? You lift it up again and it goes into first, and yeah, locks up your back wheel. I've done that a couple of times. So thank you for watching my video on the Zontes Firefly 125cc Euro 4 motorbike. Comment below if you've got anything to say. Thumbs up, thumbs down, and subscribe to my channel to stay updated to all my latest content. But as always, ride safe.